Going green,
and
we are green.
Hit that funky intro.
Oh yeah, we have a new intro here, so we got to throw this out real quick. Let's see. Here we go.
He invented a wonderful drink and he made it out of hops.
And we're live.
I don't know what you guys all thought of that, but I was playing around today to do a little intro for us, so thought I'd do something kind of funky and weird.
Hey, it's fun.
We got all kinds of sound effects, you know.
Good luck with that.
See?
Yeah.
That's what she said.
We're getting all sorts of crazy and fancy up in here.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm Jeff.
And I'm Dave.
Yep, and we are beer drinkers with a
Bible Fetish.
Bible Fetish. Got to get that in there. Here, I got to do yours. There you go. You're up now.
Bible Fetish.
All right. Whoa. All the playing and sound effects and everything else. So tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to rate a couple beers.
Yep.
And then we're going to talk about stuff going on in the news and the Bible and stuff and everything happening.
Absolutely.
And make fun of people and just have a good time.
Yeah.
So that's what we're about.
I know last week, just want to apologize for the error. I am technically, apparently not very good at this thing, and none of you heard me.
Yeah, apparently my loud voice was on the only thing coming through.
Right. If you're a lip reader or you work for the NFL or something, you want to transcribe that for us, by all means, we could get some dubbing.
Yeah.
Dude, some like
and it was over an hour show too.
I know.
It was over an hour, and then you hit me up the next day going, "Dude, it didn't record. I couldn't hear myself. All I could hear is you."
I know. I went to go post it on YouTube and everything, and I usually do watch it just make sure everything's okay. And I'm like, and I botched that completely.
Yeah. Apparently my Skype worked well. I was I was out of town in Anaheim at a seminar for work.
Yep.
So learning a lot about stuff. You know, that's kind of the way it goes.
Yeah, and the funny thing is we spent about 15 minutes. His audio wasn't coming through.
Yeah.
Like, I literally spent 15 minutes, and I figured that whole thing out, and we got you going.
Yep.
Only for me not to have myself working.
Then I show up and just see he's got a button pushed.
That was easy.
See?
Unless, of course, you're me.
Well, let's crack some of these beers open, man.
So the first beer we got tonight is from Lagunitas. It's Dogtown Pale Ale. Let's put that right there.
Yeah, there we go. Doggy Town.
I bought this because of the name Dogtown. For those who grew up skateboarding, you know about Dogtown.
And a guy that's allergic to dogs buys a Dogtown.
Yeah, and but hopefully it's a good beer.
It's a pale ale. It probably shouldn't be too bad. Petaluma, California, and Chicago, Illinois brewing company. So they brew in both places, apparently. So,
yeah, I'm going to let you do both because I am terrible at that. I am not manly enough.
if you noticed last week, I even had a Phillips screwdriver I was opening my beer with.
I saw.
So,
Hey, you got that sound effect? We got a new one.
I do.
Not that one.
Okay, as we sit and drink our beer, okay, we were going to pour them into a glass, is what we normally do, but here we have the official glass pour as we're pouring our beer. You can see it, you can hear it kind of going. So, and as we sit and drink our Dogtown.
Nice. That's not terrible.
Good luck with that.
First impression.
I got to learn these sound effect symbols, what they all are.
Which one?
Oh, here we go. You want to hear a really good one? Watch this. This is after we've had a little bit too much.
I don't think the audience appreciated that very much. I really don't think they appreciated that very much. I apologize for my friend.
What's this one? I don't even remember what this one is. Oh, that's just
that's the yawn. Yeah.
Yeah.
The puke one, just every time I hear something like that, do you remember the movie Goonies?
It's a lie.
Sloth? That could fit into the Goonies analogy.
Yeah.
But like when they do you remember Goonies?
Yeah.
Okay, so you remember Chunk gets kidnapped by the pirates, well, by the whatever the name of the family was, and they're getting him to confess everything. And the worst thing that I ever did is I went to the movie theater and I went to the balcony, and I went up and I started making that sound. And that wasn't the worst part about it. The worst part was everybody started puking. And every time I hear
That was a good one right
oh,
there.
good. Oh, great movie, by the way. All you youngsters, never seen Goonies.
So what do we got in the news lately?
We got a lot. There was a lot today. There was some crazy stuff.
Yeah, you did. You sent me some wild stories.
Man, I was on a roll. I was just like, normally we like looking for stuff, and it's like nothing's going on.
Bet that one in India.
The India story. Oh, so
that one kind of, man, I don't know.
The India one's weird. So, all right, everyone. There's an article. It's in the Christian Post, and the headline is U.S. Congress urges India's Modi, the current prime minister, to protect Christians, condemn attacks on minorities. It's not necessarily just a Christian problem. Like when you read it, it's Christians, Muslims, and Sikhs. So I guess they make about 20% of the population of India.
Anybody that's not a
Hindu.
Yeah.
And the Hindus are there's one case in here, so I don't know if it's like this rampant, but there's one case of a bunch of alleged people raped a 9-year-old girld.
9 years old, dude.
9
years old.
And they're being
because she converted to Christianity.
Correct. The family did, I think, not just her. I think it was the family, and it was punishment for the family doing it. They raped the daughter. Aren't they
saying the problem is the Christians and the Muslims is the problem? No, it sounds like the problem is not the Christians and Muslims.
Well, so India has a government, like in their constitution or ruling documents, whatever it is, they're supposed to protect people of all faiths.
Yeah.
And in this, you have, it's the government, and this is where it gets murky, right? Like the government is saying all the right things and doing all the right things, but the people are not following.
But until you start convicting them and doing something about it, they will continue to be lawless.
Right.
And that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
Because I've read other articles like that before where they don't do anything. But there was an article I read a while back that was in India, same thing, where it was a preacher, a pastor there. They tried to rape his wife, and somebody came in and rescued her. But they really attempted to break in and rape his wife during a study, and they came back, and instead of the local police convicting the people that did it, the perpetrators, they actually convicted the family for being Christian, and because they're Christian, it caused the other people to do it.
Yeah, there's some weird things going on. Like the community is protecting a lot of these crimes that are going on. Like,
and like I said, it's not just Christians. Like you said, it's Muslims. It's
anyone who's not Hindu.
Yes,
and then the communities are protecting those people. Like denials didn't happen. We don't know who did it. Yada 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 yada. So, and it's just an article. Now, of course, they pointed out a Christian story because it was written by the Christian Post. So, obviously, they're not getting into a lot of the Muslims and Sikhs, but they mentioned that this is happening to them as well. But it's just kind of crazy when you think about religious persecution. Like, you got Muslims, Christians, and Sikhs being attacked in India, like of all places. Like, that's nuts. And it's not like small little things where you have a government. And that's the thing that the congressmen that are writing India are like, hey, listen, we've got trade agreements, we got all this stuff going on with you. You need to at least say something. Yeah. Like, it's not enough that it's written. It's kind of like the opposite problem we have here, right? Like, we have a government that's trying to push religious ideals, and the people are kind of fighting back. Like, the people here, like, no, we need to be equal everywhere. Yeah. Obviously, we have our political groups and everyone that make comments. But here, it's like the people are saying, no, religious freedom. And you have our government that's starting to do religious things, like a theocracy. And so it's like we have the opposite problem. Instead of having a government that's silent and people revolting against it, you have people standing up for the principles of our ruling documents and a government that's having to be checked by the people, which I love. Like, people can say all they want about America. When I see the fact that you have loud voices screaming at our government saying, no, that's not what we're supposed to be doing. Yeah. And then I look at a country like India where it's a government silent and the people not following the documents. I would rather have people standing up for the documents, even if our government's not, because people will unelect officials. Mm-hmm. If there's one thing I've learned in reading about politics, parties change, ruling parties change, everything kind of is a revolving door, you know, and it's kind of nice. Like, it's refreshing knowing every so often we're going to have a new party in power. Regardless if you like them or not, it's always going to be that refresh, because then it's like the other party's like, oh, our ideas weren't accepted. We got to change. And then they rise to power. And then the other party's like, oh, we got to change our ideas because we're out of power. And then they change their ideas, and then they're elected. And it goes back and forth and goes back and forth and goes back and forth. And it's always, you know, quote unquote.
Yeah, we have a pendulum that constantly swings
right. It just swings back and forth, and ideas change and everything. So it's refreshing in that aspect that you constantly have to go through that refreshing and renewal. If we didn't have that, I'd be worried. Like, oh.
So, I mean, this story, I mean, but in all honesty, it's India. What are we going to really do about it here? It's going to take our government pressure to actually do something about it, and hopefully they can do something to.
I mean, you would think with a president like we have, who's so quick on tariffs, like with the Turkish, I don't know if you saw, I don't know if I sent you that article. There's a big skirmish with Turkish right now. Like, Trump did a bunch of sanction against Turkey to get this pastor released.
Okay.
I read a little bit about the pastor. This pastor got arrested. Then he was put on house arrest.
Did he do something wrong, or was he falsely arrested?
That's where it gets murky. Like, I'm trying to get more details on it, but it's basically like he has the potential to serve life in prison.
So now
the pastor's been a pastor over there for 23 years. Oh, I know what it is. He's accused of spying and a couple other things by the Turkish government, but he's been a missionary for 23 years in Turkey. So it's kind of like, it's one of those weird situations where you're kind of like,
they're just trying to find something to trump up on.
Like they're, it almost feels like, okay, the guy's been in the country for 23 years, and now all of a sudden after 23 years or 22 years, because he was arrested a while ago, now you're leveling all these charges against him.
Yeah.
So Trump, in an effort, they got him out of jail. He's on. Hey,
our government does the same crap. So
no, I know.
We're no different.
But in this case, right, you have a president who's willing to sanction this one country to get this one pastor released. But then you hear about the stuff that's going on in India, and it's almost like, okay, if you're willing to do that for one man, why are you not willing to do that for 20% of a population of India? Because in India, 20% is, what are they at? Like, I think I heard today that like 1.2 billion people or a billion people.
Well, you can remember, we haven't been, when was the last time a Hindu attacked the United States? So in that regard, it's...
But Turkey is a secular country. That's the thing.
I get it. It is, but it's still, it may be secular, but it's still more Muslim faith in Turkey. They're definitely a widespread Muslim faith in Turkey. It's been that way for a long time.
No.
So they're the ruling people there.
But I guess my argument isn't so much whether it's Muslim or anything. It's a president who's willing to say, if you're willing to go after that Christian, okay, 20% of a billion is 200,000?
Yeah.
Okay. You get 200,000 people? Or no.
20% of a billion?
No, that's 200 million?
Yeah.
200 million people. That's the size of America. Almost.
Yeah.
Well, it's half of America because we're about 330 million. So you figure about half our country is being persecuted in India.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a lot of people under persecution under one country.
Yeah.
And it's like, so
when nothing's really being done.
And nothing's being done at all. So it's kind of like, I get the one guy like standing up for him. That's cool. But at the same time, we got 200 million people that are being persecuted.
Is it going to make news?
Well, of course not. That's the thing.
Is it going to make news? Is it going to really make a difference?
No.
That's why it's not going to be done.
Not in any way. And that's why the government will never do anything, and these people will constantly be persecuted.
Yeah. Because
it's not a story, because it's India. So it just kind of sucks.
You know, it's that way all around the world, though. I mean, these other countries, and the reason I asked if he broke the law, because if he had really broke the law, now it sounds like charges may be trumped up against him. We don't know. But had he really broke the law, well, then he deserves to get what he's getting, because you know the law there.
Right.
You can't just be a foreigner. You know what? I see this in Mexico. Me and my wife love to go to Mexico. And down there, and we've taken you there before.
Yeah.
You see this down there where people, and we see it here in Vegas too, where people think it's, oh, we can do whatever we want. There's no laws, you know. And they act like complete freaking morons.
Yeah.
And think that they're not going to get in trouble, you know, getting into a fight, you know, walking naked down the street, or
whatever stupid law.
Whatever stupid usually it's a drunken thing.
Yeah.
You know, and I remember this in Mexico one time. This guy drunk off his ass in a bar because I laughed. And he was in there causing all kinds of problems, thinking he can just do whatever he wants. It's in Mexico, right? He figures he could. This bouncer, big dude, big guy, picked him up over his head, walked him to the front door, and literally threw him about 10, 15 feet, and the guy landed in the middle of the street. And then the guy wanted to get up and fight the bouncer. Well, his buddies ran around outside the bouncer and grabbed him and like, no, that's a really stupid thing to do because right outside was a federale. So he would have been arrested,
Yeah.
day or two in jail, whatever it is. So at the time in Mexico, the law was that if you got caught drunk driving, it was a ticket. If you got caught drunk in public, it was jail. The sentence was worse for drunk in public.
So the idea is once you're drunk to get to your car as quick as possible.
Get your car as quick as possible and get home. Yeah, kind of stupid, a little reversed. That was way back then. So
Can you turn me down?
I can probably do that. Let's see. A little bit better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, it was ringing.
Ringing in your ears a little bit.
Ringing a little bit.
So with that, yeah, it sounds better on mine too. So with that, it's. I mean, people come here to Vegas and do the same thing. They just act like a complete fool and an idiot.
Yeah.
This "What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas" slogan that they came up with. It's a
people
real problem.
Yeah, people do a lot of stupid things.
Yeah, no. STDs go home with you. They
Yeah,
stay.
not just that. People do all sorts of stupid
That's
things.
like luggage.
Well,
So
if there's one guarantee that's nice about living here with Nevada plates now, driving in and out of the state when I go to California, I don't have to worry about getting pulled over. They're always going for the California people.
oh yeah, they do.
And then when you get in the California side, they're all about going after the California people.
Yeah.
So as long as your speeding's within reason,
Yeah, they don't care.
you're pretty much good from Nevada to LA and LA back to Nevada because for the most part, CHP doesn't want to screw with people from Nevada. They'd rather go after their own people in their own
Yeah.
state because they don't want to deal with the out-of-state nonsense. They just know it's people in their state and they have to fight it. And then people in Nevada, the cops are kind of like,
I'm okay with that.
you kind of get a local pass where it's like, what's the speed limit? It's like 70, I think, 70, 75.
Yeah.
So you can get away with 80. Like 80, maybe 85, depending on the flow of traffic, and you'll be okay.
When I first moved here, I was when I first moved here, I still had my California plates. I'm driving down the strip, and I changed lanes like 3 times. I didn't know where the hell I was going. It's like, oh, I want to be over there. No, I want to be over there. Signal, everything, just change lanes. I got pulled over.
Yeah.
And this cop, now, for all you out there, that if you ever take a trip here to Nevada, I learned a big lesson. I moved up a block or two, and then I pulled over in a safe spot. That's what we're taught in California when I moved here, right? No. Here in Nevada, I don't give a shit what lane you're in. Stop. Especially on the strip. You don't pull off. You don't go to the side.
Now, they did change that in Nevada because I saw a campaign a couple years ago. You are supposed to pull over.
Okay.
You are supposed to pull over.
He yelled at me because I pulled into a nice driveway and everything else. It was one of the casinos, but I pulled in off to the side. He's like, I could take you in for evading arrest. I'm like, evading arrest? I'm looking for a safe place to pull over. Not just for me, but you got to get out of the car, dude. You're going to get hit. And he's like, no, you pull over right when I turn my lights on. And I'm like, that's the stupidest damn thing I've ever heard. And as he kind of pulled me over for drinking, just back and forth a couple of times. He goes, are you drunk? Have you been drinking? I'm like, no, not yet. I'm just getting out of here. And he goes, and my license plate, he goes, so you're from California? I said, no, actually I live here. I told him I moved here. And he said, how long have I been here? Because, we only have a certain period of time to get your license and all that done. And I hadn't got it done yet. And I was coming up to that time period. And I says, no, I just haven't had it done. Chance to do it, working here now and everything. He goes, okay. He goes, well, I'm going to let you off this time, but don't do it again. And just hands it back to me. And I'm like going, okay, that's because I live here now.
Yes.
And I knew that.
Yes.
You
got the local treatment.
I got the local pass, with the California plate.
Oh no. It's we have it good. We definitely have it good here as locals. Now, I will say there are 2 speed traps in Las Vegas that are on the 95 freeway, and this is more of a PSA, public service announcement. I don't think we've done one of these yet. So,
no.
Public service announcement. So, the first one. This blows my mind. Every week on the Rainbow Curve, right at Rainbow and 95, if you're coming down the 95 in the carpool lane, there's about, 6 or 7 motorcycle cops that sit right on the curve, okay, going south, going downtown. They all just sit there. It used to be every Monday morning. Now I see them random days. They've kind of... Thank you. Now I see them on random days. The amazing part about this is I'm telling everyone who listens to this show, if you drive that curve in the mornings, if you're in the carpool lane, they will pull you over because they sit there and they pick you off all day long. And the most amazing thing to me is this was
And as soon as they pull
a
you
few
over, you
years
know what
ago.
they say?
Access denied.
They don't tell you access denied. They just write you a fatty ticket. But here's the amazing thing, right? Like, I saw this pattern after about a month of driving to downtown every day.
Uh-huh.
And every week, over and over again, right on the curve, people were getting pulled over for not having enough people for violating the carpool lane. For not having... And in California, there's some that are 3. In Nevada, it's only 2. Like, I only need 2 people in the car.
What?
I know, it's crazy. But it was just like, I'm just amazed. Well, the other morning, I ended up having to go back to the house. So I got on the freeway at Lake Mead, right there, 95, just past the Rainbow Curve. And as I'm getting on the freeway, no joke, there are about 6 or 7 motorcycle cops sitting on the on-ramp with their guns out, watching people speed down. Now,
Wow.
the 2
I'm
weeks...
glad I get off right before
Yeah,
then. So I never see him because I get off the freeway right then.
2 weeks before that, I had noticed him because there was a cop. I got off freeway to go to the gym, so I was going over Lake Mead. There was a cop off his bike with his radar gun on the bridge. So what's happening is
I got a ticket doing that one time.
The cop
Assholes.
sits on the bridge.
I need that meme. Assholes.
The cop sits on the bridge with his radar gun, catches you speeding, radios
it down to the guys in front,
Mead, and then they go and they write you the ticket. So, and this is one thing I appreciate in California. It's not the same in Nevada. In California, the guy that records your speeding has to pull you over.
Yeah.
Somebody else can't pull you over.
Unless it's a plane.
Oh, is that...
Yes, unless
So
it's a plane. If it's a plane, they obviously can't come out of the plane and give you the ticket.
But the cops have to catch
I
you.
got one of those in California once.
Oh, I never got one of those. But in California also, you have to see the car. You have to be able to see the cop. So they can't hide like that.
Well, they have to point the plane out to you, too.
Right,
After the
where's
cop
that?
pulled me over, he's
Yeah,
like, see that plane right there?
Because you have to be able to see it.
Yeah.
In California, you have to be able to see the cop. They're not allowed to be hidden.
Yeah.
And they can't be like, well, I was kind of here. You should have saw me. You have to be plain
So
sight.
I'm on the 215 over here, the Beltway.
Yeah.
When they were first building it over here in Summerlin, I get on the freeway, and one of the overpasses, they were still working on it. There was tractors on top. So a big tractor. There was a police officer, a cop, from Henderson on this side of town, and a whole bunch of Henderson cops all lined up. Revenue. It was all about revenue. That's all it was about. This cop is up behind the tractor tire looking around it with his gun so you couldn't see him, tagging everybody. And there was a line of Henderson PD just after the bridge, just pulling people over one after another.
That's the other nice thing about California. Highway, CHP only, city, only local cops. They don't,
I tried to fight that one.
They don't cross.
I'm like, this is Henderson way over here, and,
Yeah.
and on the other side of Vegas. What the hell are they doing over here? This isn't legal. And they're like going, yeah, but we can do that. They just set up. They get the arrangement with the cops and everything on this side of
That's the
town.
nice thing about California. Everyone's so damn greedy. Don't be touching my area.
I know. That's
Like,
not here. It's
not-
nah, come on over, man. You want to make money? Come on over. We don't care.
It was funny because when I was in California, it would always be nice to get on the freeway and all of a sudden you see people be like, oh no, there's a cop. And then you like slowly creep up on it and you see it was a sheriff. And you're on the freeway and you're like, boom. It's funny when I go back, it still happens. Like all of a sudden I'll see a cop car and everyone will be flying by. And usually if there's somebody in the car from Nevada, they'll be like, why is everyone flying by the cop? And I'm like, I guarantee you it's not CHP.
So I flew
and they're
by-
like, what do you mean CHP? Sure enough, fly by, it's some city cop. And everyone's like, what do you mean? I'm like, he has no jurisdiction.
Yeah.
It's highway.
Actually, they can pull you over, but they just don't.
But in California, it's such a legal thing because
Yeah.
you got to go through and everything. In California, the courts won't deal with it. So
I flew by a metro the other day on the freeway, which can pull you over.
Yeah.
They can. So I'm flying along, and all of a sudden I slow down. Okay, metro cop. I pull up. I look over. Here's the metro cop, a woman, on her cell phone, looking down at on her computer at the same time that they have in the car, driving along, not paying any attention to what's going on, to her driving or anything. I pull up alongside of her. I look over at her. I see what she's doing. Screw that. I just kept on going. Sped right on by. She never even looked her head up. She's driving along, looking at her computer the whole time. I mean, if traffic stopped in front of her, she'd have nailed it.
listen, I'm not for banging on cops, but you cannot be above the law.
That's right. I thought that was crazy, man. I'm like, if that was me doing that and another cop pulled,
You get in trouble.
I'm going to get in trouble. I did read the cell phone law, though, that if they're on duty, and it's something to do if all they have to do is prove the phone call had to do with something to being on with work, then they can legally be on the phone.
Okay, that makes sense.
And
like if they get a call from...
That goes with any first responder type thing.
Okay.
So if they get a phone call, but that wasn't, I mean, it was obviously she was engrossed in some conversation or something, with her kids or whoever she wanted to talk to. Yeah. That wasn't the case. So what else do we have in the news, by the way, dude?
Oh, man. Got some good stories.
Well, while we're doing that, we may have to...
You got some other ones?
No.
Sorry, I don't print stuff out, people, because I don't believe in killing trees. I'm an environmental wacko.
Do it. That was easy.
Arnold did make things easy.
Arnold did make things.
I'll be back.
I love these sound effects, dude. I got to find some better ones. Oh, I think I had Nuke in here, too. When something bombs out, or just nuke it.
That's what he did in the bathroom before we started the show.
Oh, hell yeah, man. You didn't want to go in there after that.
All right, so...
It's like that TV show. Woohoo! Jim Carrey, when he walked out of the bathroom.
Oh, man.
Remember that?
Oh, man.
Did anybody forget that scene?
All right, so we got another article out of Christianity Today. Here's the headline: Prosperity Gospel taught to 4 in 10 evangelical churchgoers.
Prosperity Gospel.
4 in 10.
Damn it. I want my space station. You know what? Hey, you guys missed that last week. If you
because I didn't get my other in on that. Yeah, we need to.
That's right. It's okay because he didn't get to say anything. It was just me talking about.
Well, I gotta say some things.
I moved on from the jet.
Yes, we did, and I'm okay with this at this point. I'm actually behind him on this one.
Yeah.
So we moved on from a jet for him to a space station for both of us.
Yeah, I don't want a jet anymore. I don't need a private jet. I just want a space station.
The space station is to brew holy water.
That's right.
We're not brewing beer.
Yeah.
But we're going to brew holy water. And the reason we need a space station, it's holy water. It tastes like beer, but it's holy water.
Because here's the thing. Yeah, because we're going to be closer to God.
It's closer to the heavens.
So
it's actually no.
Therefore, he can bless the beer better.
We're not gonna put it in low atmosphere. We need to be in the heavens. So it's holy water brewed in the heavens.
Yeah. Ooh.
It's holy water.
That's the slogan for it.
Holy water from the heavens.
That's right.
That tastes like beer.
Yes.
But it's holy water from the heavens.
So whatever you can donate, we need a space station.
Yeah, so we need to get this Patreon thing going. It's probably going to work better than GoFundMe because GoFundMes are so hit or miss. But once we get enough startup capital,
we'll do a GoFundMe too for a space station.
Yeah, well, no. Because see, I thought about
for
this.
A space station.
See,
we might as well do both.
Right, but
branch out.
We just need one. We just need a good chunk. You know why we need a chunk? Stop flushing my idea. You haven't even heard it yet. Because then we just go to Elon Musk.
I know.
And then
we just partner with him.
Right. He's already got the rocket.
We just tell him that we want to brew some holy water, and he's got the rocket.
To get us to the space station.
We'll get the space station. He'll get the rockets.
Yes.
That way we can have transportation back and forth.
And then when he wants to go to Mars, we'll have holy water for his trip already brewed.
Right.
So he can restock at that
Him
space
and his
station.
whole staff and everything.
Of everyone who's going to Mars.
And because it's so close to heaven and blessed, they'll make it for sure.
Correct.
They'll make it to Mars. No problem.
And the holy water is going to be so good. He's going to have to he's going to have to come back for more.
Yeah. Back and forth, man.
Because it's like a 6-year journey to Mars or something, or a 3-year journey, whatever it is.
That's right.
So it'll take them a while.
So if you're listening to this,
and listen, if
go to our Patreon and we'll have a new
we'll put a new ad on there for space station for
space station
for holy water.
Yes,
holy water from the heavens.
I gotta do a video for this on there and see the space station.
We'll
mad scientist up there brewing.
And considering, as the article just pointed out, 4 in 10 evangelicals are taught prosperity.
Yeah.
That out of every 10 of you who go to church, that means 4
will give us money for a space station.
Because you understand by giving to us, God will bless you.
That's right.
That's how it works.
That's right.
So and the more you give to us,
I'll tell you what. Here's the deal too.
Yes.
For everyone that donates at least $1,000, we will send you a case of holy water after it's brewed.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Once we have it built, There's a disclaimer. We got to get it built and brewed.
12-pack, 18-pack, cans, bottles.
Case is 24.
And 24 pack?
24 pack.
We'll send you 24 bottles of holy water.
Of holy water.
Now, of course, you must be 21 or follow whatever whatever the legal we'll have to follow those regulations.
Unless you can get a trip from Elon Musk to fly up there because it's a space station, then I don't know. If
whatever international law would apply. Yeah. I don't know what
is there even international law? It's like interspace law.
Well, it'd be like,
I don't know if we have anything written for that.
You've been on a cruise ship. What's the law on the cruise ship?
Well,
is it up to the boat's discretion?
No, it's maritime law. Maritime.
I would assume maritime law would apply to space.
I don't. That's kind of that'd be an interest for anybody that would know that. I'm curious. Because maritime law is ocean. So does maritime law apply to the oceans of space, or is it just what's intergalactic space law?
Well,
I mean, we got to come up with some new intergalactic space law.
Let's go to the United Federation of Planets.
There we go, the United Federation of Planets.
Okay, that's from Star Trek.
Nanu.
And Star Trek followed all.
Oh no, that's
Vulcan. Live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper.
Obviously not a Trekkie.
So actually, I love Star Trek. I love the originals.
Right, Shatner.
I love the originals and the second one, Picard. Those two. After that, I didn't watch.
You need to watch DS9.
Deep Space Nine.
No. Sisko. Captain Sisko. I'm telling you.
Really? I never got into that.
Dude, it takes a while. It does.
Okay.
I will admit it.
See, I like Picard though. Picard's cool.
Picard's great.
Yeah.
Sisko's better. Okay.
Really?
Imagine Picard, but a warrior. And that's Captain Sisko. Because Sisko actually...
I like Shatner. You know why I like Shatner?
Because he was a badass.
He's a badass. He got all the women, too, man.
Well,
no matter what species they were, he got them.
Hey,
he's
listen,
like 007.
Listen,
like,
a couple years ago, I just finished...
like 007
I finished every episode in DS of Next Generation.
Uh-huh.
Dude, Picard had his share of women, too.
Yeah.
Okay,
but it's not like Shatner, man.
It was a lot more obvious on Shatner's part.
Yeah.
Okay, like I get that.
Picard, yeah, I mean, he's taken off with like nine-eyed women and stuff, and they're green and everything else, and he didn't care.
Yeah, but Picard was that guy. I mean, he drank Earl Grey. Okay, like Captain Kirk would have had a beer with you, right?
Exactly.
Like he would have had some whiskey. I mean, he did. He went camping with his buddies.
Yeah.
Picard wasn't going to go camping. He was going to go to his ranch and not brew. He was going to make wine.
Yeah.
Because he was French.
Yeah.
Right? Captain Jean-Luc Picard.
Yeah, I know.
All right. But like...
You know what I think of French?
I know. But you're more... Yeah.
I've been there.
I know. Anyway, Captain Sisko. Captain Sisko of DS9 is my favorite captain.
See, I haven't watched that. I haven't seen it. So,
it's so good. It's
yeah,
so good.
Maybe I'll have to catch an
so the
episode
first couple of seasons again, like once they get into the Dominion War, and you could probably jump up to like season 4 or 5,
okay,
to really hit that Dominion War stride.
How many seasons are they in on this?
7. Every Star Trek episode is 7 except for Enterprise. Enterprise went 5, and there was a Fund Me campaign to have CBS do 2 more seasons.
Okay.
Because every Star Trek, the original did 7, Next Generation did 7, DS9 did 7, Voyager did 7, Enterprise went 5. And all the fans threw a hissy fit because they were like, "No, every Star Trek gets 7 seasons. That's the rule. That's the standard. That's what you have to do." They cut it at 5. There was this massive campaign. As you can tell, I'm a little bit of a Trekkie. There was this massive campaign to raise money.
You're a nerd, aren't you?
They raised hundreds of thousands.
You really are a nerd, aren't you? You're a nerd with a freaking beard, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Most nerds don't have beards like that.
Absolutely. I will admit it wholeheartedly. But there was a massive fund. They raised tons of money.
That much of a nerd, dude. What a geek,
dude. I think it was Netflix. One of the big streaming services offered CBS to pay for 2 more seasons.
Really?
And CBS refused to do it, even though they wouldn't have had to put a dime forward.
Sucks. I do not like CBS.
Like
CBS sucks.
CBS, like I never watched Enterprise, but I heard about like
CBS sucks.
I need to go back and watch it because
I need that meme. I need the meme that says CBS sucks. Yeah.
Like.
No, that's not what we want for CBS. We want this
fart.
This is what I think of CBS.
Okay, that's appropriate for the way they screwed Enterprise. 2 seasons, and people would, if there was nobody like not willing to pay it, there were companies that were willing to pay CBS to get those last 2 seasons done to keep 7 all the way through, and they wouldn't do it.
You know, I actually used to watch CBS. I watched other stuff. Did you ever watch that show Under the Dome?
No.
Okay.
I think we've talked about this before.
I don't know. I really got into the first season. The first season was great, right? And then it ended. And the way it ended was so bad that I refused to watch the second season and everything else on CBS. It was that bad. I don't even remember how it ended anymore, but it was so bad. And then the next year, my wife started watching it, and I would ask her every now and then, I'm like, so what's going on in this? She would tell me, I'm like, that is the stupidest thing ever. Just the way they twisted the whole thing. It was just so dumb. Are you ready for another one, dude?
Well, let's rate this real quick.
Oh, yeah, let's rate
Because we're done. Dogtown Pale Ale, Lagunitas. You read everything already on it.
It's very hoppy for a pale ale, I think.
So this is what IPAs used to taste like for me. It was this pale ale.
It is more of an IPA.
This is what it used to taste like.
IPA-ish, if that's a word, IPA-ish.
You know, but obviously my palate's changing because I like IPAs now. It didn't, like, it was hoppy, but it wasn't super strong.
Wait, before we do the thing. What we gotta do? Where is it? It's
Which one?
Now we do the rating.
Oh, yeah.
You have to do the drum beat beforehand. All right.
Drum roll. Okay, drum roll. So it was hoppy. It's definitely a pale ale, but I'm enjoying it. Like, I'm really, really enjoying it.
This is like I would call this like a casual beer, just to hang around if you're hanging around with buddies and stuff.
Like at a campfire?
A campfire. You don't want to drink too much. It's a little heavier for a pale ale.
Yeah.
Because it's got the IPA taste to it and everything, a little hoppy, so it is a little heavier. It's not quite as like a lot of pale ales are, where they're a lot more mellow. This has a bite to it.
Oh, yeah.
It's definitely got a bite to it. But I wouldn't expect anything less from Lagunitas. I mean, that's kind of the way they are anyway.
It's
a
also
lot of the beers are kind of hoppy as it is.
I think this reminds me of Sierra Nevada's pale ale, of what I've had before.
Sierra Nevada is a lot more mild, I think.
See, I think it's stronger, but it's been so long since I've had it. But this
we'll
is
have to pull a Sierra Nevada.
yeah, to see how it is.
It.
Like to go against it because I'm used to that being really strong. But if you're saying it's mild, then this is stronger than
What's
that.
Does that say 6.2?
6.2 by volume.
Wow, that's pretty strong.
So
That
it's
could
strong.
be why they're adding the hops to it
To make it that strong.
to kill that.
Yeah.
No, to kill it, because the hops would. It's gonna, because 6.2, you're gonna get more of a, especially on a pale beer, you're gonna get more of a wine type taste to it, or like a stronger taste. So, because most pale ales are not 6.2. So I bet you they're either that or it's the way they're brewing it with the hops, maybe bringing temperature down rivers to get the alcohol up. I mean, I don't know. We don't know their brewing policy, what they're doing, their recipe, but still, it's I'm kind of it is good. I would give this. Let's see, we're between what are we rating them up to?
Up to 2.
Up to 2. For a pale ale, I'm rating this as a pale ale, not overall. As a pale ale, I'm gonna probably go. If I could go like between 1 1/4 and 1 1/2, I would. So I'd be like 1 1/3 or
but
something.
you gotta go.
I gotta kind of go. I'd go 1 1/3, which is maybe okay. I'm gonna go 1 1/2.
1.5.
I'm gonna go 1 1/2
Okay.
on this one.
See, I was right there. I was right in between half. I was debating between 1/2 and 1/4.
Yeah,
So if
that's kind of where I'm at. Right.
So
between half
here's
and
I'll split the
quarter.
difference. Since you're doing 1/2, I'll do 1/4, and then we get to split the difference.
There we go.
We'll just split the difference right there. Because you kind of
So
answered
let's-
my question with that. So
Let's write that down.
yeah,
too.
Lagunitas Dogtown Pale Ale
So we are 1 1/4 and 1
1.5.
I don't know why I wrote that 1.5.
So we're at 2 3/4.
yeah,
Yep.
1.25. Okay, so that's for Doggy Town. Doggy.
Dope.
Write that down. That way I can make sure I put it on our Facebook and so you guys can all see it.
All right.
Okay, our next one
Kona
is
Brewing Company. Liquid Aloha.
yes, Wailua Wheat. It's a wheat beer.
Ale brewed with tropical passion fruit.
Twist off, or is it a pop?
No, it's pop.
Pretty much everything we got.
Kona
pop.
Brewing Company, Kona, Hawaii, Portland, Oregon, Portsmouth, New
Wait a
Hampshire,
minute. Kona Brewing in Portland, Oregon.
and Kona, Hawaii, and Portsmouth, New Hampshire.
Cracks me up sometimes where some of these places are brewed all over.
Mahalo for drinking responsibly. Ooh, mahalo.
all right.
I am not Hawaiian. I have one friend who lives in Hawaii.
All right, we gotta get the beer pour going here.
Yep, ready. Ooh.
There we go. We got the beer pour going on the screen. Little bottle crack there. We gotta put that right here, right next to the thing. Yeah, there we go. A little sound effects.
Oh, should we do that on camera?
Yeah, do it on camera.
There we go.
Nice. All right.
I'm not that much of a jerk.
Let's see. What's our label say on this one too? Mahalo 12. Okay, you read all that. What's our ABV on this one? For those that might be interested.
Ooh, that's good.
We got to start looking up some of the other stuff on these things too, so we can let people know, like the IBU and some of that stuff, so people actually know.
Oh, 5.4.
5.4. Okay,
5.4.
A couple stronger ones today.
Yep. Well,
As long as we're not doing this at the end of the night.
This is true. We're only doing 2 beers.
Yeah.
So real quick, while we're enjoying the second one, why don't you throw up the meme of the week?
You want to do the meme?
Let's do the meme. So we're gonna start. We talked about this on our first episode. So I finally have one. Found this today. Oddly enough, this one is amazing.
Are we ready for the meme?
The
Are
meme.
you ready? Here it
Meme
is.
of the week. There's only one thing I hate more than lying: Bud Light, which is water that's lying about being beer.
You know what? I actually Bud Light. That used to be my go-to beer, dude.
Yeah, I know. When I first moved to Vegas, a lot of my friends all they drank was Bud Light, so that was all we drank.
There it is, popping up live right now. We can
But
see it coming up.
You know, that's a good meme. It just popped up. It's the guy from what's the name? Parks and Rec.
Yeah, he's been in a few movies though too. He's
Ron Swanson. He's the
that his name?
He's the libertarian. He's like the anti-government guy that works for the government. I've never watched the show, but because I've leaned that way politically, like people send me a bunch of that stuff.
Is good.
It is right
After that strong hop taste,
Yeah.
this is like really taking it out now. Probably should have done this one first, maybe, or need a cracker in between. But this is actually not too bad.
I know.
This one could be dangerous. Imagine this one in a nice chilled mug, like a frosted mug where you got the ice chunks kind of floating on top of the beer because the beer is frozen.
You know what this is nice for? A nice spring day at the beach or at the lake.
Yeah, as long as
Or
you're not in
before you
California
take a-
beach. I'd take your ass off to jail drinking a beer,
That's true.
smoking a cigarette, doing that shit.
Yeah, freedom.
So I talked to met a guy last week that actually owns and owned, you can kind of do it all, I guess, all in one, dispensary and grow house
In California.
in California. So he
Nice.
got into it back in 2000, what do you say, 10 or 11.
Okay.
He's followed the law to a T every single time. Every time he's been arrested now 3 times
By the feds?
by the feds, who then get the government to actually do it, to the local governments will actually do the arrest. They trump up charges on him every single time. Talk about Trump charges. They fight it all the way to a point where it's ready to go to court, and then they drop everything.
Oh, so they're just fucking with them.
Yes, they've done this now to him over and over and over
Wow.
again. And it's not just him; it's everybody that's in the business.
Yeah, I'm sure. It's
So-
just become a normal thing.
It's just become a normal thing. And he's talked about this because of what it takes to defend yourself and the costs and everything else, and then what it takes to actually, the laws they've put in place to actually own. He goes, I would never own another. We hear dispensaries making tons and tons of money, right?
They're spending them all on legal fees.
Yeah, he said, he goes, they tell you you make, $35,000, $40,000 a day. He goes, that's not a joke. He goes, I brought in 35 grand a day. Cost me 40 to live, to keep my store open. I'm like, how does it cost $40,000 a day to keep it open?
The regulations?
Regulations, for one. He says, first off, the cost itself, remember, gross is 35. The cost itself is about 50%. Your weed will cost you, because you can only buy it from certain distributors, everything
Right,
else.
you got to do it all.
So the markup is, or it's literally 50%. So of what he's selling it for. So 50% gone right off the bat. So 35,000, you made 17.5, right? Then you have legal fees, rents, everything else. Trash, you can't throw trash away. No trash at all. Might be contaminated. It has to be taken away by other people and destroyed. All the trash that they ever generate.
So that's extra cost.
That's a ton of extra cost. In the grow house, he can't even put the water from the plants, all have to be recycled, and eventually all that has to be taken away. Yeah. And he goes, we cleaned up our water cleaner than anything else. It's just off a plant. He goes, it was crazy the amount of stuff. He has one in San Bernardino. He opened it up, and he decided to do it the legal way. He ended up with one grow out of it, and that's it, one of these big grow houses. They actually put it on a measure for the public to vote on, Measure O. And he turned around, and they assigned certain APN numbers on this, because San Bernardino wanted some grow houses to bring in some revenue. So they put it on there. It passed overwhelmingly by the general public.
Yeah, it's San
to
Bernardino.
open it up, right? Within 3 months, feds came in and shut him down. And then he got sued saying that it was spot zoning. And a judge overturned the entire measure. One judge turned everything over. Wow. So his entire shop's closed up now, entire grow house.
Lost all the investment.
All the investment. He goes, you think you want to, his joke was, he goes, if you ever think you want to buy a dispensary or grow house, he goes, no, go buy a Jamba Juice instead. You'll probably make more money.
Wow.
That's virtually what he said. He goes, it's insane. Then, of course, the banking industry and all that's not involved because it's still federally illegal. You can't put the money in. So now the taxes that you're making on it, because that's all skewed because you're not claiming it all properly. If you don't claim it properly, now the tax you can't.
You're in a rig system.
So now, yeah. So he goes, no way. He goes, I would never do it again. And he had made a ton of money in the early years back when. So he thought, okay, I want to do something different. I want to invest in something. So he got into the second wave in California. The first wave was pretty much wiped out by the feds just arresting everybody. The second wave, he got into it, and they're pretty much all gone now too. So now we're into the third wave of people ownership going through there. We'll see how they do. He goes, welcome to the marijuana business. I was shocked when I heard all this.
So I'll say this. I was curious what happened to this. So this is kind of like validation. Obviously, it's anecdotal because it's one story, but I'm curious. So when Arnold Schwarzenegger was in as governor of California, Arnold, you had the little... We have a little sound effect for Arnold.
Which one do you want to do?
Shout out to Arnold. Which one was it?
I don't know which one.
Damn.
No, that's Friday.
Do it.
There it is. Arnold, do it.
Do it.
Do it.
No, this was, I'll be back.
Yeah, but he also had the do it. It's not a tumor.
I'll be back.
So anyway, when Arnold was governor of California and George Bush was president, George Bush, they were in a recession, right? If you remember, people don't remember George Bush dealt with the recession before the Great Recession. In 2001, 2002, we had the recession as well.
Yeah, a little
and
bit.
then 9/11 added more pressure to that recession. They did the tax cuts to bring us out of it. So during that recession, California obviously was in one as well. Arnold was governor of California. Bush was president.
Mm-hmm.
Bush needed to shut down all the dispensaries under medical marijuana law. Well, he didn't have any money to get the feds in there. So he told Arnold, hey, buddy, you're a Republican, I'm a Republican. Can you help me out? Great response. Arnold, sorry, I'm broke. He's like, because first Arnold's like, listen, state law, and we can't do it because my state says I have to do this, so I can't do anything. So Bush comes back with federal law supersedes state law. So Arnold comes back with, I'm broke. God bless him, because he just came out and so all these people are like, who trash on Republicans in California. You get someone like Arnold who just looks at his own party and he's just like,
I'll be back.
yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much it. Hold on, I gotta go to the bank and get that money we don't have to do that thing that you don't want, that you want me to do that I'm not gonna do because I told you I'm broke.
Easy.
I think the damn. Yeah, the Friday.
These are funny, dude.
Yeah, but anyway, like it's funny because that happened, and then Obama got in, and so Obama started sending feds in to shut it down. I mean, obviously Bush did it as well, and then Obama did it, and so now Trump's doing it. But now here's the funny thing: California hasn't had a Republican government in forever, and the California government is getting in on this, and that's a bunch of Democrats. Again, I'm not trashing one party or the other. I'm not trying to say the Republicans are better than the Democrats, but damn, people, this just shows the hypocrisy of the parties. They're all in it for the money.
What?
That what's good? Because I'm sure they're all extorting these weed people.
What?
You know that guy? I bet if you paid off a couple politicians or donated to their campaigns or their PACs, I bet they'd all go away.
WTF?
Absolutely WTF. WTF on that.
You like that?
Perfect. That's perfect. Because, damn, that's some messed up. That's messed up.
Damn. It is, man. I'm sorry. People vote this stuff in, and then it gets overturned, and then people vote to have it. I think it's, to me, in the government, that's all bullshit. We are definitely not we're not a democracy anyway. We're a republic. So
all powers not dictated to the federal government in this document are dictated to the states.
Yeah.
But instead of it reading that way, everyone pretty much says...
Hey, I want to do some good news, dude.
The other way. You want to do some positive news?
I want to do some good news. What happened with me last week, and we're going to do the verse of the week.
Ooh, this is good. I'm gonna let him talk about this.
All right, let's do.
Verse.
Okay, we're gonna prepare the verse of the week because
All right.
here it's gonna come. Verse of the week.
All right.
All right, here's the verse of the week.
There we go.
Psalm 127:3. This is the NLT version. Children are a gift from the Lord. They are a reward from Him.
Amen. Now I know you've had kids.
Yes.
They're long and gone. I just had my first daughter. You know, I didn't have her. I know. I'm a male. I helped create the thing. But I'm helping to raise.
Yeah, you
my
just
first
donated.
daughter. I just donated.
You just donated.
Just donated.
It's a fun donation.
It is.
It's a fun donation when you get to do it.
It's a blessing from God.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We get the fun part.
We do.
Women get the sucky part. But anyway,
Hey, they gotta blame me for that. That's not our fault.
on that,
But you get some exciting news.
yes, and if
Hey, let's drink to that.
If my daughter's listening, a shout out. Just had my first
Absolutely.
grandbaby. Grandson.
Grandpa.
That's it.
Grandpa.
Of course, I ain't old enough to be a grandpa. But
Oh, he's
that's
old
okay.
enough to it.
Ain't
Hey,
even
for all you
close.
people out there, I've been giving him shit about this for days. But in all honesty, see all this gray that's coming in? I know I'm like 30 years away, but I'm already excited to be a grandpa.
That's what happens when you have kids, dude. You start turning
Turn gray.
See, now with me though, I was pretty blessed. I ain't got much gray. Not like you, man. No, I got a little bit in here.
My top's dark, man. Just
You
like
got a lot of gray coming in though. You can see
It's all
it.
down here.
Yeah, a lot of it's in the beard. I got it right there too.
Yeah.
It's starting to come in.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I want to go gray.
You want to go gray?
Oh, I've wanted to go gray since I was a kid.
Why?
Gray bestows wisdom.
That's. I feel so. Bullshit. That's some bullshit.
Well,
that
yeah,
is.
absolutely.
How many old men have you met where they're just like
Dumb as a box of rocks?
yes,
And they have gray hair?
and they got gray hair?
Yeah, but that's not distinguished gray hair.
Yeah, is that the difference? It has to be
Yeah.
distinct. It has to be earned.
Yes.
Earned. So how can you tell the difference when you look at somebody with gray hair versus somebody that doesn't? That's got gray hair that's not earned.
Ready? Ready? This is real easy.
Yeah.
Talk to him for 5 minutes.
Well, all you do is say hello most of the time. But I mean, that's if you can get.
I'm not wrong.
Well,
I'm not wrong. You talk to him for
Yeah.
5 minutes, you're going to
Yeah.
know. You're going to know if that gray was earned or if that gray is bullshit.
yeah, most time you can tell by their vocabulary.
Yes.
Yeah, you definitely
5
can.
minutes. 5 minutes is all you need. Sorry, you
Yeah.
couldn't see the 5. 5 minutes is all you need.
Yeah, a lot of times somebody's vocabulary, you can tell exactly where they're coming from. The words they use,
Yeah.
how they speak. Yeah,
See?
you're absolutely right.
Yep.
The
See?
confidence they portray, all of it.
Yeah, you can tell. You can tell if they're a boy with a
Oh,
beard.
wait a minute, that was a real one. Backing up that Burt. I didn't mean to hit that one, but that was pretty cool. That kind of
Oh my
worked. Didn't
gosh.
it?
So anyway, everyone say congrats to Grandpa over here.
Hey, this grandpa's running a 50-mile race here in a couple of weeks.
He's has to walk at least 3.5 mile an hour pace. But credit to him, 50 miles at an average of
That
3.
ain't no joke, man.
Hold on. I'm trying to talk this up here, and you're not letting me. You just think I'm gonna rip into you. He's got to do 50 miles in 20 hours.
20 hours.
50 miles, 20 hours. You have to maintain a 3.5 mile an hour pace.
Yep.
Zigzagging across Denver,
Up and down mountains.
which
hills.
is a very hilly city if
Yeah.
you've never walked it. It's crazy. It's absolutely, and you're carrying a 20-pound weight on your back.
Oh, yeah. You got to throw a backpack on and throw a bunch of weight in it, too.
Yeah, it's a backpack with 20 pounds of weight plus whatever else you're going to carry for the 20 hours. So that's food, snacks, water,
Beer.
whatever. Yeah.
I just fill my pack up with beer.
Why don't you just do whiskey and Coke?
That worked, too. Just whiskey.
Because you don't need as much.
Yeah.
Like, granted, now, hold on. The advantage of the beer is you get the calories, so you could lighten up the snacks.
Yes.
Because you wouldn't need, if you did the beer, you get the calories and relaxing the muscles. So
Beer is food.
That's true. That's what the Germans told you.
That's right.
So if you did like a heavy beer that would actually sit, you would get your muscles would stay relaxed for the walk.
See, like this shit, this is liquid aloha here.
Yeah, but you might drink it too quick. That's the problem. And then you're gonna run out of beer at 10 hours. And then you'd have to stop. And then you have to go walk at a faster
Just
pace.
stop and pick up more beer.
Walk at a quicker.
So I did one of these races one time before with these Go Rucks.
You've done a 12-hour, right?
Yeah, I've done 24. So
Oh, that's right. Wait, the 24. Oh, that was San Diego.
San Diego. So
Yeah.
I've done one of these. And get this. So I show up at one of them, though, the 12-hour ones, with a 12-pack of beer in my pack, along with water, and my weight, change of socks, all this stuff, right?
And that's
'Cause
a
we're gonna be going
30-pound
on
weight for the 12, right?
Yes, 30-pound weight on top of all the other stuff. I show up with a 12-pack of beer. And I'm thinking, because it's St. Pat's Day, and I'm wearing a kilt, by the way, for this. And so I'm thinking at St. Pat's Day, we're all going to be having a good old time. Everybody in this race. We're going to be drinking beers while we're running and doing our PT and stuff. So I show up, me and one other guy show up with a 12-pack of beer. We were the only two that drank. Everybody else, this is St. Pat's Day. They're like, no, man, we don't drink. We just do these events. We don't drink. I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? You don't drink? That's some bullshit right there. I got a 12-pack of beer I brought to share with everybody. This other guy's going, dude, I brought a 12-pack too. I said, so you and I have a case we got to drink during this event because I ain't pouring it out. And I got to carry this shit, and so do you now. So our cadre is laughing his ass off at us. He goes, so you guys brought beer to share and nobody drinks? He's like, that's some funny shit, man. He's like, and you better not pour that shit out, or I better not see you dumping it, because if I do, I'm going to beat the crap out of you and make you do more push-ups. So the only option we had was could have given it to the homeless people as we're walking along, give it to homeless. But we never saw any homeless people the whole time because we're in a good neighborhood. So we had to carry. So I'm drinking beer all night long, trying to lighten my load and drinking whatever little bit of water I can get in between, drinking beer.
Is this
It was a good event.
Is this the ruck where you got the shopping cart and then had to carry the shopping
No, that
cart?
was a different ruck.
That was the 24, right?
Yeah, that was, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a different ruck.
So for those that don't know, there's this event called a Go Ruck that is basically long walks with a rucksack, and the rucksack consists of anywhere from 20 to 30 pounds
And carrying
or
a
30
shitload of weight on top of
20
it,
to
or each other.
20 to 50 pounds of weight
Yeah.
in the backpack on top of whatever else they tell you here. This smart guy right here, on one of them, and I'm sure he will elaborate if I get these facts wrong, he got the bright idea because they were carrying a log.
We're carrying 3 railroad ties.
Railroad ties.
Big railroad ties, yeah.
He found a shopping cart, and he got the bright idea to put it in the shopping cart
Well, here's
to push it around, which they did. But
Put
then
that on a block.
the cadre caught him
Uh-huh.
and made him carry the shopping cart
Yes, I had to carry the shopping cart.
along with the railroad ties.
So we were going along. All we had to do is he says, okay, we would need to carry the railroad ties with a time hack, and each person was taking turns doing leadership, and we had to get to a certain point. Mm-hmm. And we had to get the supplies there. It was like a military exercise where the logs were the supplies. So we had to get them there, and as I'm going by, I see the shopping cart, and I look at everybody else. I'm like, okay, he said we had to get them there, but he didn't tell us how. So let's use some ingenuity here. Let's grab that shopping cart, man. So we grab the shopping cart. We throw the 3 railroad ties in it. You
push it.
Yeah, we had 3 railroad ties and a palm tree by that point. So, and there's probably maybe 18 to 20 of us carrying 3 railroad ties and a palm tree, big palm tree, and our flag out in front and everything else. You got your leader with their flag. So and me having to bark orders and carry. So as we're doing this, we pushed it about a block, and Cadre goes, this just isn't working for me. But since you like the shopping cart so much, I think you need to carry that too. And I'm just like, crap. So I had a shopping cart over my head. Those are heavy, by the way. And I'm walking with this damn thing down the street on top of everything else. Oh, man.
So the one thing I've learned, because I've done 2 of these now, I did a 4 and a 12, and if there's one thing I've learned from the cadres, you can find the loopholes, as he did with the shopping cart.
Yeah.
They're totally cool with it. Yes, you totally get credit for finishing that exercise with the shopping cart, and that was smart. But now you're going to carry the shopping cart for the next one.
Exactly.
Well, the other team doesn't, because usually there's several teams. The other teams don't have to do that.
Well, you've done the team ones. These are one team ones.
Oh, okay.
We're going to do one team, yeah.
But still, you're still like you're suffering for it, and it's funny because you have to think not only can I get away with this, but how is this loophole going to come back on me?
Well, you saw me get in trouble with the blocks at one time when we split up our team.
Uh-huh.
And we won. We won that event But we split up to do it because I knew that they were going the wrong way, and the other team was following my guys that were going the wrong way, and I'm going, great, their team's going the wrong way. We know where it is. We're going the other way. We had to run like a mile to get all these blocks, right?
And they split their team
These
up.
cinder blocks. So we split our team up. Well, they figured it out. Well, we got all the cinder blocks. We got the most, which was the whole thing event for that one. Carry these things from a mile away to where we were at, where the cadre was. So we show up. Well, he realized my team split up and yelled at me for the team being split up. You know, and then we had to do bear crawls all over the park, all over the place.
I was on the opposite team, by the way, and as we were running
They're
back,
laughing their ass off.
we were running back with like a third, not even a third. I think we had like 25% is what we were able to wrestle away from you guys. And as we're going back, our leader, name started with a B.
He's a cool guy. I know.
Yeah,
who he is,
nice guy. He yells at everyone. He's like, "Wait!" And mind you, they're like, there's guys behind us. They're taking off in front. Our leader he yells real quick. He's like, "Everyone, back in formation." And we're like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Last night we got screwed. Anytime we split up," because he remembered what happened the night before. Anytime you got split up, you got punished.
You weren't the night before.
I was the night before. He was.
Yeah.
And our leader was. So I was just like, "No, in single file now." And then we start running back because it wasn't about just how many you got, but it was who got back quickest.
Yeah.
So it was like they were worried about getting the most and getting back quick, but they split their team up.
Yep, I split them up.
My leader was like, "No."
Or I allowed him to split up.
Yeah, and at the time, I was the slowest guy, so I got shoved to the front because he's like, "Okay, slowest guy's in front," so they ordered us slowest to fastest in order. Fastest carried the weight with the slowest guys in front, and we pushed forward.
Yeah.
But we all showed up together as a unit, single file, all the way in. We came back. So Cadre gave us credit for coming back. So while we didn't win the event, we didn't get punished. They won the event and got punished.
Oh, dude, that was great though. I didn't, I didn't care because we won. I'll take the punishment for the win. I don't care.
Their team was about twice the size of ours, and I thought I was the biggest guy to it because at the time I was 300 pounds.
We had a huge guy that day.
You had two. Yeah. You had two big guys.
Yeah, we had a tough time that day because we had two big guys.
I felt bad, because that first event royally screwed them for the rest of it.
Well, here's the thing: because I had gone all night long the night before. There was two events. I did them back to back, so I went all night long the night before. Half our team was from the night before too. You guys had 2 or 3 that stuck over. Your captain was there.
Yep.
He was there the night before. He didn't captain though the next day.
No, he was the captain for our 4-hour. I don't think he was the captain for the overnight.
Yeah, the overnight guy. I thought he did it again too. Maybe he didn't.
Miguel.
Yeah,
no, there was
because I captained both. I ran both of them. So.
We had one guy show up halfway because he sprained his ankle during the night, and then he showed up and did the last half of the second.
All I know is, man, that next day we had those 2 guys, big guys that show up on my team for just the 4-hour event the next day. Whew, man, it was very humbling for me. It really was, because I'm a guy that drives whatever it takes to win. As you can probably gather from that, I don't care. We won. I'll take the punishment for the win, and use ingenuity to make sure that we succeed. Well, here that night before, that's what we did, and I was able to do it. But the next day with these 2 big guys, I had to take a step backwards and really humble myself because they just didn't have the physical ability to do the events that we had to do. They just couldn't do it, and so I had to step back and go, okay, let's make the event about them and for them so they enjoy themselves as much as they can.
Which, to your credit, about halfway through, about 2.5 hours into the event, your attitude changed from how you were running it the first half to the second half, and you guys finished strong on the second half versus the first half. And I will give you a lot of credit for how you, I got lucky with our leader. We were doing that from the get-go, so while we didn't win, I think we won 1 event out of all of them. That was it, out of 5 events. You guys ran it, but it was nice because they were
I was pushing those guys beyond what their ability was, and trying to take up as much slack with our guys as we could, which was killing the rest of the team on top of it. So I had to really take that. It was very humbling for me because I'm a balls out kind of guy. Just go balls out at everything I do, and if I don't have the physical ability, I'm falling over dead myself. Or You know, that's just kind of the way I am.
Right.
Yeah, I'm doing a 50-miler. So
At 50.
at 50.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just gave away my age, dude.
You said it a couple weeks ago.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know I said my age.
You did.
Okay.
I'm 36. I'm not that far behind.
Yeah.
I'm turning gray a lot sooner than he did.
There we go. I really like that one too.
Well, hey, we're at an hour.
Yeah,
Do
we are.
want to try and get back to this hour nonsense that we were doing instead of going an hour and a half like
Yeah,
we've
we
been?
can try that. Okay,
All
let's.
right.
Oh, you finished your beer.
I
dude.
did.
Damn.
Yeah,
Okay, wait a minute.
Finally beat you.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. This guy. Wait, this guy.
There, I'm done.
All right.
All right. Let's see. We're doing the Wailua wheat.
And if we said it wrong, by all means, correct us.
Hey, dude, I'm not Hawaiian.
Neither am I.
Holly. Hey, that was good.
Whoa.
Dude, really?
That was good.
We gotta give that one.
Thank you.
We gotta get an applause
Thank
for
you.
that one, man.
Appreciate it.
All right, so let's do the. We're gonna do the. We
I don't
have
think we
it
showed
coming
the
up here.
bottle. So there it is, right there.
Here we go. Here we go. And we're gonna come up with the ratings. All right, Wailua wheat. I'm gonna give this one. This one actually was a good drinking beer.
Oh, it was really good. I wish I would have had a palate cleanser. Nice. Very nice.
Oh man,
I really wish I had a palate cleanser to get the
between.
full effect.
I think so too.
Because I'm sure it would have tasted a whole lot better with the palate cleanser.
But this wheat, I would give this one definitely a. What did I give the last one? Like 1.5. Oh, I gotta rate this one higher. 1 3/4. I'm not gonna give it a full 2.
You are?
I'm not gonna give it a
Okay,
full 2.
yeah, no,
But
I
I
was-
would definitely go 1 3/4 on this one.
I'm gonna match you on that. So
Really?
yeah,
1
I'm gonna match on
3/4.
that. Mm-hmm.
Wow, that one's this one got rated pretty high.
3.5 total
3.5 out of 5.
out of 4.
That's an even better one, man.
Yeah, it was.
Whew, that felt good,
So I do want to get
Easy.
man.
before we get out of here. I want to give a shout out to one place, a place we like to go out to in the middle of the desert. So Tacopa. We just had a bad windstorm that hit the valley and the guys out there, and it's a small little
It's like
operation.
70-mile-an-hour winds. What do you got here? So you can
It was-
imagine what they got out there.
And it was bad. It was bad. One of the bathhouses out there got completely destroyed. They showed the photos of it, and they didn't have. I mean, it's a small operation, so.
Well, here's the thing: they have the two bathhouses, men and women.
Men and
so
women.
you guys are aware, men and women's. The men's was under construction because they raised enough money to be able to fix that and
Correct.
get that going because it's been in disrepair for quite a while. And then the women's just blew down.
Yeah, they had it scheduled. The guys that run it had posted on there. The plans were for next year. They were going to do a
women's.
whole year of raising the money just like they did with the men's and do it next year. This windstorm came through,
Just destroyed it.
destroyed it. I mean, it's gone. It's just gone. So I don't know if they have a GoFundMe page or anything, but heck, just go out to Death Valley to Tacopa and throw the guys a few bucks. Mm-hmm. Like,
Yeah, go spend some time out there. The guy's
Like-
name's Ryan that runs it, Ryan and Paul.
yep.
So if you have a chance to go meet them out there, they're
And
great
there's-
guys. They're good friends of ours.
3 breweries out there? 2 breweries.
2 breweries.
3 restaurants. 4 restaurants.
4.
Oh, well, because
No, the brewery. Okay, you have Death Valley. If you ever heard of Death Valley Brewing Company, that's where it's
they're in
located. At.
Tacopa. But they serve food.
Yeah, well, French fries.
They're awesome.
They have French fries. That's probably all they have is French fries.
But they're good.
Yeah, they're great. They're great. So, and he has now, man, he has a speakeasy in there now.
That's right.
So they're doing hard liquor there now. So that's new, which is kind of cool. I've been in the speakeasy before. I've been to the
Yeah.
brewery. And then next door to that is Steaks and Beer.
Steaks and beer.
Eric runs that one. That one will not be open. In fact, most things out there are closed pretty
During
much
the
right now.
summer.
During
Yeah,
the
you got to wait till
summertime,
October till everything
I
reopens.
mean, this is the entrance to Death Valley. So I
Yeah.
mean, unless you're ready to go out there and bake yourself. So you have Steaks and Beer with Eric out there. Great guy. Eric's a good guy. Awesome
foods
food.
to die for.
Oh, tomato soup. That tomato
Oh,
soup he
man.
makes, homemade tomato soup.
And it's all like organic and fresh.
yeah,
Like
he taught us how to make tomato soup
Yeah.
when we were out there. I make batches of tomato soup now and give it away.
I showed my family how to make it and got like they were like, "This is the best stuff we've ever had." And it's
Yeah.
like it's all just natural.
And when
Like,
you
it's all
make it
just-
homemade, it's so easy to
so
make. And
good.
it's so
So
good.
good.
So then there's the other place. Oh my gosh,
Ribs
what's-
and beer.
Ribs and Beer State, not rib, something like a beer.
It was a barbecue place.
It's a barbecue place anyway.
Yeah. And
it's in front of Delights.
Yes.
And that one's pretty good. Great if you want to play ping pong. They got a ping pong table in there. So their beer is, I'm going to say it's so-so. Like
I haven't had their beer, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's just so-so. I've noticed that they're getting better at their beer brewing because when I first went there when they opened up, dude, I drank one and I left. I mean, I literally I drank it because I bought it, and I don't even know if I finished that. It's like it was just it wasn't good.
I lied. We did have the beer that one night, but I don't think we had any of theirs. I think we were drinking other people's beers that they were serving.
Okay,
is what we were having.
I've had theirs since,
but their barbecue was good.
Their barbecue is decent.
The
barbecue's decent. Wesley's the one that owns that or runs that place. Wesley runs it. His dad is the one that owns Delights that's there. So Wesley runs the restaurant and makes the beer. Cool guy. If you ever meet Wesley, stoned most of the time, but he's a cool guy. As I think half the people in Tacoma are most of the time.
Yeah.
So, and then you have Shoshone, the town of Shoshone.
You also have the restaurant, the Bistro. The
Bistro
doesn't serve alcohol, though.
Yeah, no alcohol. I know they've tried to get their license, but there's so many of them in that little tiny town, they're having problems. The Bistro is more like bar food, pizzas and stuff.
But it's good. The
good.
burgers are good. The breakfast is really good to go over there.
Yeah, breakfast is great.
Their SOS is awesome.
Yeah, they do have SOS.
Yeah.
Which is surprised me for those of you who know what SOS is, that shit on a shingle.
It's really good.
We used to have that when I was a kid all the time. Even for dinner, we'd have shit on a shingle all the time.
And then if you drive out to Shoshone, you have the Crowbar out there.
The Crowbar, the world-famous Crowbar. I don't know about world famous, but the world-famous Crowbar. Great breakfast there, too. They have good California omelet. They have a little bar in there that just serves beers in there. You can just pick up beers. So if you haven't been at Tacoma, I definitely recommend that town to go out to. Go by and see Ryan at the campground. He's at the county campground. If over the winter you get a chance to drive out there, if you're in Vegas, it's 90 minutes. It's literally 90 minutes. It's not that far. The hot springs are awesome. Go support them. Throw them some money. There's some natural springs out there, too, just off the side of the road. Yeah. You just want to hang out in those. Right. So. Yeah, if you don't want to pay for the bathhouses. But the bathhouses are nice. The men's was completely redone. They did a great job with what they've got out there. It is old. Like, I will warn you, it's not like this fancy little hot spring place. It's an old Indian tribe that had hot springs out there that donated it to the county. That's literally how it happened. And the county turned it into something. The campground's cool. Like, if you go out there in the winter, like November, October, November. If you want to run around naked in Tacoma, it's legal. You can. It's actually legal. In the hot springs, by the way, you are supposed to go nude. Yeah. In all hot springs. And that's because of an endangered pupfish that's out there. With the endangered fish. And the detergent on the clothes get into the water. Detergent on the clothes and stuff. Yeah, it can actually kill the fish. If you go out to the natural ones, everyone's usually clothed. There's very few people. The older people aren't, but the younger it's a mix.
People,
it's a mix. So.
But if you get into the bathhouses, you are supposed to go in. So I'm out there that one time. I'm out there with. Well, hold on. Before we tell stories, the big thing is that you got destroyed in the windstorm, and I'm just trying to throw them some business because it is a cool community. The people out there are awesome. Just go out there and help them out. Like if you're planning a camping trip, planning on if you're looking band every Friday. Friday night during the winter they do Friday and Saturdays. They do live music. Yeah, the band is a lot of good friends, people we both know. They're good too. They are. It's really good music. They do a jam band festival out there every year. Yeah, that usually fills up. You got to get a spot if you want. There's a campground. There's hotels. There's lodges. I'd highly recommend just because I saw the devastation. I want to throw them some love. Take yourself out there for a day, even if you go out there and just eat at one of the restaurants. Space Station. Yeah, don't give the money to us. Give it to them. We're in a Space Station too. Good people, really good people. Like I think we'll bring them some holy water from the Space Station, and they'll be blessed and to get everything they want. Listen, if you're a prosperity Christian, then give us the money. If you're not a prosperity Christian, then give Tacoma the money. Space Station. But head out there. Show them some love. Yeah, go out and see them. Go out and see Great them. People. Show them some love. Show them some support. Like obviously, right now it's way too hot for hot springs in the middle of the desert. But come late October, November, December gets a little cold. I'll be out there. Come October, I'm out there every other weekend. So February, March. We'll have to do a show from out April. There. Yeah, that's maybe what I was thinking. Plan a show. One of these Monday or something, or maybe just do a special show from out there. Yeah, from out there one night. Yeah, just kind of hang out at the campground. We'll hook up to the Wi-Fi and just do it that way. Their Wi-Fi's fast enough. Yeah, it is. So, but good people. I just after seeing the devastation from the windstorm and knowing, like Ryan had talked about the situation out there with fundraising for the money for the women's bathhouse getting destroyed. So, just want to send some people their way. Like The beer's good. The beer's cold. Like during the winter, it's great. It's so fun. Like you go out there on a Saturday night for the live music. It's so much fun.
Yeah, it is.
It's so much fun. Like there's just
the brewery, the live music, just the whole town.
Yeah.
The church out there is great with Frank, the pastor.
Yeah. Pastor Frank runs a little church that's out there.
Yep.
That's awesome. It's a
Great
really
little
small church. Like you want to meet some authentic, honest, non-hypocritical people that are just going to be upfront and honest about where they're at. And
their service is sitting around a table.
yeah, it's like a Bible discussion.
Yeah.
Where the pastor's engaging you, where he's asking your opinions and your thoughts, and he wants you to comment. And he's not condescending, or he's not trying to tell you it's only his way. He's just giving you his opinion.
Oh, we've had some great discussions. Frank and I have.
The whole community, like even the people in the town who were there, so opening, so welcoming, beautiful people that'll talk to you. Like if you're seeking, like if you're not a believer, head out there for a weekend, go soak in the springs. Go try the beers.
Yeah, even if
eat
you're
at the
just
restaurants.
a spiritual person, just go out there. I mean, they have the labyrinth.
So good.
They have
Oh, the labyrinth is out there.
Labyrinth is out there. I've sat in the middle of that labyrinth and meditated.
If you don't want to camp, there's 3 different hotels because there's Delights. You can stay with Ryan. He's got his lodges.
Tacopa, Delights, and Brian. And Ryan has a couple lodges.
Ryan has a couple lodges. There's the hotel by the bistro too that the other couple owns that you've met.
Just that's just it. That's the hotel I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
That's Tacopa.
Yeah, there's that, Delights, and then Ryan stuff.
Yeah,
so you can stay at those 3 places. If you stay at one of those places, no, Ryan's are just the county pools, but Delights have their own private pools. There's 4 private pools.
If you stay in the hotel at Delights, there's some in between the rooms there that you can sit in. All of them out there, other than Ryan's, are segregated between men and women.
Right.
It's the other way around. Ryan's is segregated between men and women because
everyone
it's a county park. Everything else is co-ed, but it's lockable, so they're private.
Right. They're all private rooms.
Yeah, they're private rooms. I mean, if you want to keep your door open, whatever, that's up to you.
Yeah.
But they're all private rooms. So Delights has 4 hot springs.
Yep. I haven't been to the other hotel or the one upstairs.
The hotel Amy, that's Tacopa. Amy has 3 in the hotel and 2 up above for the campground.
Okay.
So she's got the 5. There's also Peterson's out there, and that's RV only. And they have 2, but that's just RV only. Nobody talks to the Petersons anyway, so don't go there. Go to the other places. The Petersons are real snobby.
Well, if you got an RV, stay at Delights, and then you can use their 4 private rooms.
Yeah,
and 2 of them don't have roofs.
Delights is actually probably the nicest of all the hot springs.
Yeah, I was gonna say 2 of them don't have roofs, right? Or one of them doesn't have.
One
a roof.
doesn't.
One doesn't have a roof, so you can see the stars. And Tacopa's in the middle of nowhere.
All the stars are great.
Yeah,
they have star
you can
parties
see
out
everything.
there. They have all
so
kinds
nice.
of stuff.
It's a beautiful town. It's really cool to go out to. The breweries are cool.
Well, I'm ready to go, man. We're like talking it up.
I know. It's so hot. Like everything's closed. Like the men's is under construction. The women just fell down because of the wind. Like you can't even go soak in the tubs.
Drive out there and just go talk to them a little bit.
Ryan's talking about the bombers, like trying to get all the construction done before the bombers come out in the middle of the day.
Okay, the bombers are if you go September, October. The bombers are just the horseflies.
Yeah, and they just dive on you.
Yeah,
they just dive the whole time
nasty
on you.
It's awful. Flies. And if they'll bite the crap out of you
they
too.
do. They really do. But
good luck with that.
Yeah.
But I wanted to show them some love because they posted some photos the Hot Springs did of what happened to the women's. And so I wanted to send them some love, give them a shout out, try and send some people their way. So if you are listening to this, make some plans in November, especially like to go out to Tacopa. If you don't want to go in the week, November's actually not that cold. December's not too bad, depending on when you go on the weekend. If you're in Vegas, honestly, people go out for the day. Like go out for the day. Like it's
all right, guys. Hey, let's close this out.
All right.
So to round out, let's see our doggy beer, Dogtown. We got a what do we have? 2 and 275.
275.
275.
Got 3.5.
Wailua wheat got 3.5. We had our verse of the day. We had our meme. We covered quite a bit today.
We did. We got a lot of verses.
Got India that needs to straighten their government out or have our government straighten theirs out. We got a couple things going on here. We've got prosperity gospel. 40% of you guys out there will donate to us for our space station.
Yeah,
so we're all set with that.
That's what should happen.
Yep, 40% of you. Because remember, if you donate, you get back. Because God blesses you for donating.
Correct.
So,
the more you give to us, the more God will bless you.
That's right. So give us all your money. So what we need to hit up, we need to find the next preacher that is actually declaring like end of times and just call all those people up and say, well, since the day's coming to the end, you might as well give us your money.
I just sent you one. I think that day passed though, and the world didn't end. So
the world usually doesn't end on all those. So
no. Well, the Lord does say, no one.
Yeah, no one. Christ even said no, not even him.
No
he
one.
Said not even him.
You're right.
He doesn't even know.
No one.
No one. No one knows.
I always find it amazing that people don't understand what no one means.
All right, guys.
Let's blunt when we say that now.
Let's close this out. I am Jeff. We are beer drinkers with a Bible fetish.
I'm Dave. Thanks for listening.
Absolutely. Hey, let's close this out. I'm going to close this out with our intro.
Yeah.
Just because it's kind of funny.
Yeah, let's do it.
And then we'll say good night.
Here we go.
Drink and he made it out of hops.
All right.
All right, guys. Have a good night. Have a good week.
That's our end of the night.
No, you're supposed to do the sleepy one. There you go.
There you go.
That's the one we wanted. That's the one we wanted.
All right, guys.
All right, guys.
Have a great night. Have a good week.